My mentor, Mr. Jim Rohn, had a lot of famous quotes, and a lot of people actually quote him very often. But I personally have one or two favorites. And one of my favorites is this: if you don't like where you are, move. You are not a tree. I've never ever forgotten that one. And yet, as I go through my normal everyday life, I run into people all the time who act like trees. They're not happy in a relationship. They're not happy with their job. They're not happy with where they're going in life. They're not happy with the goals they're achieving or not achieving, but they're not moving. They look like a tree. They don't understand that they can actually be as free as a bird. So why is that? Why don't people act? Why don't people do as Nike advises? Just do it. I think there are three key reasons, and in this video, I want to discuss what they are and what you can do about it. G'day and welcome. My name is Willem, and on this channel I share the wisdom and the philosophies that Mr. Jim Rohn shared with me over 30 years ago. By consistently applying the philosophies and the wisdom he took the time to share with me, I've been able to lead a life on my terms, and I know that if you apply and take to heart the things I share on this channel, you too will be able to lead a life on your own terms. I really love this cartoon by Reno Piccolo because I think it's so true. I really want to work on my escape, but you know how it is, life gets in the way. And I think that is so true for many of us. I meet people every day who are stuck somewhere. They're either not happy with their health, they're not happy with their relationships, they're not happy with their income, they're nowhere near becoming financially independent anytime soon. And yet they seem to be stuck. They look like a tree in the ground, not able to move. So I want to discuss three things, or the three key factors that I believe are responsible for that happening and what you can do about it. And if you stay to the very end, I will share with you a bonus that I think could actually make a hell of a lot of difference. Okay, let's get stuck in. Now, the first reason we stay stuck in the ground is this, and you're probably not surprised. It's fear. Whenever we start moving towards something we want to accomplish, we are going to come face to face with fear. As soon as we start wanting to make decisions, wanting to make changes, fear will step in. It's just a natural consequence of wanting to change. Let's say you're not happy in a relationship and you make a decision. You go, look, this is it. I've had enough. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to tell her tonight that it's over. I can no longer keep doing it. Now, as soon as you make that decision, fear starts knocking on the door. It will say 100 ways as to why you shouldn't do it. You'll get worried about what people will say, what your family will say, what people will think of you. And the thinking so exhausts you that in the end you go, you know what, it's all too hard. And you go back to watching Netflix and you stay in the relationship. So that's the first one, fear. So what do you do when fear comes knocking? Because sure as God made little green apples, as soon as you want to make a decision about getting out of a relationship, pursuing a new career, fear will come in all its forms. Here are four things that I would like you to remember, maybe even print them off, keep them on your desk. Number one, there is not a single person on the planet that does not have fear. If you think you are on your own, you are Robinson Crusoe, you're the only person who's ever felt fear, well, wake up, smell the roses, because I'm telling you, me and everybody else on the planet knows what fear is. So that's number one. Expect it to come. Expect it as a natural consequence of the decision you're making. Number two is fear simply indicates the next thing you should be working on. And that's a really, really sobering thought. If you fear something, it means there's something there that you should be working on, and you're ignoring it. Don't ignore it. Face it, conquer it, just do it, but get on with it. Okay, don't ignore the thing that is staring you in the face that you need to deal with. The third one is this: if you don't conquer fear, it will get on top of you and it will compound. As Goethe once said, most people lead lives of quiet desperation and go to their graves with their song still within them. Don't let that be you. Deal with your fear. Don't let them compound, big or small. Take action. And the fourth point I would like to make is that fear is actually an acronym. It's an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And a lot of people never understand that. the fear overwhelms them. And if they actually took the time to sit down and go, what actually am I fearful about? Let's write it down. Now, what's the worst possible scenario? Could I deal with that? Yeah, I could probably cope with that. People don't do that. They let the fear sit here, it overwhelms them, and then they don't take action. So remember that. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real. Strip back all the crap, look fear in the eyes, conquer it, get over it. Now, the second major reason people stay stuck like a tree is their life has become one big routine. They spend hours every day simply doing routine after routine after routine. They get up in the morning, they do the same thing, they go to work, they talk to the same people, do the same thing. They get home, they're exhausted, have a little bit of dinner, watch some TV, go to bed. And that's their life. For most people, a lot of their life looks like that until they're 65 years of age. They're just stuck on the treadmill. Don't let that be you. So if this is you, if you're saying to me now, oh, it's May 23, where have all the months gone? I promise you, you are stuck on a treadmill. You are in a rut and you need to do something about it. Now, what can you do? Unfortunately, I think there is only one way to get out of a rut and get off the treadmill, and that's get super disciplined. Write down what you will accept and what you won't accept. Let's say you say to me, I don't have enough time to read. I don't have enough time for personal development. I don't have time to do exercise and work on my health. You and I both know that that is complete rubbish. The reality is we all have 24 hours in a day. It is simply what we do with those 24 hours. There is never enough time to do everything. However, there is enough time to do the most important things. You simply have to write what those are, put them in your calendar and make sure they happen. Let's say you really decide to improve your marketing. You're running a small online business that you're doing part-time and you want to get really good at it. You want to get superb at it. But you have to learn. You have to take courses. And let's say you put an hour aside 5 days a week to commit to that, to learning and doing a course. Well, I promise you, that's 5 hours a week. That's 250 hours a year. If you spend that 250 hours working on whatever it is you want to learn, that, I promise you, will make a dramatic difference. But you have to make the time and you have to commit to doing it. And that's the only way that I know of that you can get off life's treadmill. You simply have to be disciplined and you have to be committed with your time. Now, the third major reason people fail to take action and get stuck like a tree is they just don't plan their futures. They want to make changes, they're keen to make changes, but they won't sit down and actually plan what that change looks like. What will the positives be? What will the negatives be? What will the obstacles be that they will need to overcome? By actually sitting down and writing a plan, a lot of the fear actually comes out of your head because now you have a process to follow. You've got a system. So in the example that I gave you about, let's say you want to commit to 1 hour a day, 5 days a week to increase any skill you want to learn. Okay, the first question is, what course are you going to take? What books are you going to read? Now, all that takes a little bit of planning. You need to do some research and then say, okay, here are the 5 or 10 books in this area that to me, when I Googled it, they're the 5 or 10 books that are going to make the most difference. So you now have a plan. Read those 10 books. What course can you take online that will make the most difference? The great thing these days is you can research anything. Google will tell you what the best courses are, what people see as the best books to read on a particular subject, and there's reviews everywhere. So really there's no excuse not to sit down and actually do a little bit of planning. But that's the major reason people don't move out of where they are. They simply won't sit down and they actually won't write a plan. Now, I promised you a bonus at the beginning of this video, but before I share that bonus with you, could I ask you to like this video and consider subscribing? I put something out that Mr. Rohn shared with me every week, and I would love you to join me on the journey. Okay, let's get stuck into that bonus. Now, the bonus for this video in how to overcome being a tree and being stuck is this. Whenever you want to achieve something in life, when you set yourself a new goal or you want to take a new direction, I'd like you to come up with 2 lists. The first list is reasons why this will work, and the second reason is reasons why this won't work. And then I would like you to ditch the reasons why this won't work list. Only keep the reasons why this will work. Now, this is not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And you will need to be disciplined and you will need to remain positive. But I promise you this, if you take that reasons why it will work list and you start at the top and you start taking action on all the items on that list, all of a sudden things start happening. You start moving towards your goals. Mr. Rohn always said, if you move towards your goals will move towards you. And all of a sudden you will find things getting easier and easier and easier. The main reason people stay stuck like a tree is that they are fearful of change. They are so busy. They're never disciplined to actually draw lines and make changes, and they simply don't have a plan. They're the three key reasons. So keep a list of why things will work and work on those items one day at a time until you achieve what it is you want to achieve. So thank you for watching this video. As I said, I share something every week. If you'd like to have a look at some of the other videos I've done on Mr. Rohn's quotes and wisdom, they're on a playlist up there and you can have a look at those after this. So if you are stuck somewhere in your life, either in a relationship or a career, you feel you're just not progressing, I would ask you to take Mr. Rohn's advice. Move. You are not a tree. If you do, I promise, you will thank me later.